Fender.
I'm Jeff Doss.
And I'm
And
Amanda Duarte.
Yes,
yes,
and
and that is
welcome to the Extra Scoop.
awesome. Oh man. How you doing, Amanda?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We are excited to have you on. You have had a awesome last weekend, but just this
Yeah.
year has been a great year for you, and we're excited to share some of that. And so, congratulations on being the Battle of Atlanta Junior Overall Forums Champion. How's that
Thank
feel?
you. Um, I think being the overall forms champion is a lot to take in, especially because I didn't just like win it on stage. I won it in runoff, so like I won both. So it was just really amazing. I was like, guys, what? I just like won at Battle of Atlanta, and it was like the Battle of Atlanta in 2021 was my first ever NASCAR tournament as an underbelt. So to come back in 2024 and win, it was just crazy because I went last year too and I made stage for forms, but I didn't end up with the win. But to go back this year and win, I really felt amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the Battle of Atlanta is a huge event. I've been telling people I've been going since I was like 6 years old, and it's just awesome just to let alone be on stage there, right, or compete there because there's so many great competitors. There's also what's cool about Atlanta, especially right now. There's so many different celebrities or people in the music. I mean, there are people in the music business, but the Hollywood industry
Tons,
and the movie,
tons of
yes,
movies.
yeah, so it's cool. When I was growing up, Evander Holyfield, if you guys don't know, he was a boxing heavyweight champion. Okay, he would come and watch the Battle of Atlanta. All right, so it's just a cool experience, right? Last year was Tyrone Woodley, who was a former MMA world champion, was there. So it's just a great event to be at. So Amanda, what was your favorite part besides winning? Okay, what was some of your favorite parts of the weekend?
Um, some of my favorite parts were definitely runoffs, because it was just in that one room where there were just four rings and it was just like the 16, like all like the 16-year-olds, well, the 14 to 17, and then us, the 13 and under, and then after the adults. And it was just like when someone's song would go on, everyone would run to the ring and then be like, everyone was just cheering each other on. So definitely that for sure. And then, of course, seeing my team, seeing my friends, it was just overall a great experience. And then hanging out after the night show was also super fun.
Nice. So Amanda, share that, take people through maybe not just this tournament, but how what the vibe is like in junior runoffs. Like, because most people don't. Sometimes people aren't there. Sometimes especially if they're more into the fighting scene, they're over there doing that while the runoffs are in another room. But most people know like the junior runoffs is where like the most hype and energy is for the whole weekend.
Yeah, so I would say it's just like it's usually one or two rings, so everyone just around those one or two rings, and like when everyone goes up, it's just like everyone is around that one ring, and it's just like everyone's clapping, everyone's like leaning into your music, and then it's just like I feel like I'm like comfortable because it's like everyone is just there, like you're like okay, like they're all supporting me, they all got my back, and then win or lose, you're still like wow, like I just did that in front of all these people. And it's just like, it was just an honor to just be in runoffs with all amazing competitors. So it's just an amazing experience in general to be in runoffs.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, the runoff experience I think is it's really just that first step, right? If you win a first place, you're like, whoa, I get to go to runoffs. It's just a cool thing, a cool experience. And especially if you haven't done it in certain divisions, right? Like say for a while you were winning mostly traditional, and then when you started winning your open or your traditional weapons, it's a whole nother experience, right?
Yeah. I mean, um, winning my traditional and then winning like CMX or like weapons, it's just like all different because you have to like put like I guess different things to be able to make your form better. But I am trying to get my open sword there because like I've made runoffs a couple of times, but I'm trying to get there more consistently. But I know with time and getting better, it'll happen soon. But
That's awesome. So Peyton, what are some of your favorite things about Amanda as a competitor, but also just as a teammate?
Oh, as a competitor, I love watching you perform because like we all have this thing where we hang out with we hang out with the team in the middle of everything, and then something about competing like Amanda knows how to turn it on. She knows how to lock in. She knows how to be where she needs to be, and like just performance wise, you're amazing. As a person, you're amazing. I love you like a little sister. So like just watching you perform and watching you grow and just over the past year in your forms is amazing.
thank you.
Right. Yeah. I think Amanda is one of the most positive people on the NASCAR circuit. And, there's not a negative thing to say about Amanda. You know, every now and then she gets a little crazy, but, we have to, keep her in check, right? Calm her down a little bit. But, I mean, it's always fun to see you grow and get out there and compete. So, what is next for you? I know, of course, we have some big events coming up for you. So,
So I have US Open, which is coming up soon, really excited. But right after I leave US Open, we're going to be renting a car and we're going to be driving down to Louisiana for the USA team trials. So hoping to do my best there, which is like if I make the team, then I'm able to go to the Pan American Games and that'll be in Brazil. But I'm doing that and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing the rest of the NASCAR circuit this year.
awesome. So, yeah, July is a big month, right? Lots of exciting
Yeah.
things. This will be your first time doing that event, not the U.S. Open, but the Nationals, and then having that opportunity. So, share just some of the different people that help you as far as who you train with, and yeah, and who's helping you prepare for U.S. Open and the U.S. Karate Nationals.
So overall, I just guess like my coaches have really been helping me. My team always supporting me, always posting me on their stories and that type of stuff. And I'm just like, I just get like a lot of support. But right now for US Open, I'm currently training with Dawson Holt and Haley Glass for like the NASCA stuff. But for my traditional stuff, I'm training with Sensei Steven in New York. I have my Brazilian coach and Maddie Kenaway. So we're all training to try to get me to nationals and do as best as I can. But I have to say, Haley is one of my like, if I'm there and I'm competing and I'm not like in the best mood or I'm not like, all right, I got this, she'll always come up to me and she'll be like, come on, like you got this. Like she just, and if it's like for any division, even if she doesn't coach me, like maybe if I'm in trad and I'm just not feeling it, she'll always be there and she'll be like, you got this, come on. So it's just like, I love having her by my side. So.
That's my
That's
best
awesome.
friend. Anyway.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Any stories you have from the weekend, or maybe just any fun thing that you'd like to share, Amanda?
Ooh. Oh, so during our 12-13 CMX divisions when we were doing like the open forms and like um open weapons and all that stuff, we like came up with this thing like every time a song would come on, we would do like a little and then clap. I don't know. It's just like really weird, but like we were just like it was so weird because like me and Riley Claire started it and then like the whole division did it and we were like well, we just started this big thing and now everyone's doing it. And then it like kicked on into runoffs and all that stuff. And we were just like, everyone just picked onto it. And I think it was so fun.
That's awesome. That's so much fun. Yeah, I mean that's the best part about our sport is the relationships we make, and then the relationships that happen as we're going after our goals, right? And then the support you have, and so it makes it, when you do achieve those great things like winning the Battle of Atlanta, like it means more because you know you have that support, your friends there. They are as involved in it as you are, right? So it's really cool. I mean, some of the cool things for me watching were like certain people who've won runoffs in certain divisions for the first time, right? And even those people that they are beating are so excited for them because they know that was a first time moment, right? I think that's what's
Yeah.
fun. And it doesn't mean that they don't have that killer instinct or they're not competitive, they don't want to win, but they also know, hey, you know what, like they did this, they're working hard too. Like everybody's working just as hard. I really believe that, you know.
Yeah, I feel like also in runoffs, like since I haven't like won at Battle of Atlanta, well, I did this weekend, but um, like I've won my CMX runoffs before, but when I won this weekend, it was just like I like started tearing up because I was like, wow, like I just won the first tournament that I've ever been to. So I feel like that was like a really good memory this weekend. I like actually like felt like, I really felt accomplished. So.
Oh.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That's so cool. All right. So, Amanda, you got anything to share with us before you leave us and go to your last day of school tomorrow?
Um, Next year I'm in all honors classes, so keep those grades up and yeah.
That's right. That's awesome. All right, Amanda. Well, we will see you at the U.S. Open. And, congrats on everything you've done and keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, that was awesome. So, guys, we're gonna be having more, more of our female champions, our junior adult champions on the show as well, to give you guys some more insight into everything going on in the sport. So, Peyton, how was the Battle of Atlanta for you?
Battle was a rough one for me. um, I know I come on here and I talk about confidence a lot, and that was definitely something that I was lacking this past weekend. For whatever reason, I really couldn't tell you, but yeah. So I didn't do too well at battle, but I did learn lessons, and I am back in the lab, and we just had training today. Um, so just kind of making sure, jaded, just kind of making sure that I can get my confidence back up and be ready for US Open.
Hey, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, U.S. Open is like your home tournament. So, you're definitely, you got to be prepared for that. So, that's just going to happen, right?
Yes, definitely. And that's always a big one, just like battles.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely expecting a lot of people to be there. So, you know, definitely gonna train hard.
Yeah. So what were some of your favorite matches or favorite fights to watch this weekend?
So shout out to Keely. She trains with us during the week, but she fought amazing this weekend. And I think my
Yeah.
favorite fight to watch of hers was when she fought Katarina.
Yeah, that was a great
Because
fight.
they were back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it came down to the last point, and she fought so well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome to
And
see.
the men's team fight on stage.
Yeah, that was good too.
That was a
That
good
was
one.
good. That was a
That was a good
that
one.
was definitely a good one. And I'm trying to think if we didn't even get to talk too much about all those fights on our show Monday. But the men's team fight was great. The Brayon versus Enrique. It's cool to have to where it's always good when you have two teammates. If especially out of
Win-win.
70 people, yeah, to make it to the finals. It's like wow.
Yeah.
Like for Diamond, so that's a big win for those
Mhm.
guys. Um, and then Enrique pulling off the win as well in the lightweight over Tyson, and then Avery winning over
Darren.
Darren in the heavyweight.
Mhm.
Also, let's see so the women's fight. I thought that was a great fight just to see. I guess it's great because you know what, like Katana lives there, right? So she has a lot
Yeah.
of her students. She has all that. Just the crowd energy was wild, and she was just she was on fire, that night. So it was cool to see that. And anytime the crowd is into it, it just makes it an awesome
Oh
fight,
yeah.
no matter what the score is. So
That's my favorite part. Is hearing the crowd.
yeah. Um, so the open weight was Savannah versus Katarina.
Katarina.
So that one's always interesting because they have similar styles. They have trained together for many years. What are the things that you notice about that fight? Like from the beginning, if you can be like, okay, Savannah has it locked in this time, or Katarina's she's going to win.
I think the biggest thing with them is since they're so tall, they have long legs. It starts out as like the battle of the legs, and then like they both are like, wait, let me use my hands, and then they both use their hands like almost at the same time. It's
Yeah,
like their minds like connect. So
it
that's
is.
definitely probably one of the biggest things between them is the first person to use their hands is normally the one that scores
Yeah,
because
that's
a
true.
lot of the times it's the battle of the legs because their legs are so long and they're so good that when they kick at each other, it's just like wraps around.
Yeah. Yeah, and they both have really good control and balance, so they could stay on that in that chamber for probably the whole fight without
Oh
putting,
yeah,
so so it's really impressive to see. Um, I think they take kicking, especially in the point fighting game, to a different level. Both of them do. So
absolutely, because that's where you get most of your points from.
right,
No matter where it hits, it's worth two. So a lot of the times you want to get a kick in over a punch.
right, right. Yeah,
So
so that's cool to see them. Did you watch any of the 30 plus divisions?
I'm not sure the guy because on Saturday it was running so weird.
Yeah, yeah,
We were outside for like an hour and a half waiting for our divisions to start because they were doing um the women's divisions at the same time and we had fighters doing forms.
right. That's right.
So
Yeah,
I was
it was.
outside most of the time.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah, there was a lot going on. I think that was one of the only things as we got past 1, 2, o'clock. Some things kind of broke down a little bit, made it hard, and honestly, that's the hardest time to run a tournament is once it gets past that lunchtime, and think people either are like, all right, we're seeing close to the finish line, and then things kind of slow
Hmm.
down, right? Or
Yes.
when things aren't staggered and they're matching up against each other. So that's always
Hmm.
the hard part. Um, what were some things that some of your favorite parts of about the battle? What were some things that you'd like to see improve?
Battle's always been one of my favorite tournaments. Battle is actually this makes 2 years. Yesterday was my 2 years on Revolution, and Battle was my
Awesome.
first tournament competing with them.
Yeah.
So my first tournament fighting with Jimena, like
Nice.
my first tournament wearing the green. So it was definitely is one of my favorite tournaments and still is one of my favorites to this day. Um, Obviously the environment changes a little bit when you become an adult or when you're fighting in black belt. So,
Right.
but I have pictures pop up like every year on my Facebook of going on stage with like Beatrice and we were on Velocity and fighting on stage. So yeah, battle's always been one of my favorites. Um, I really have to say the only thing I can complain about is the timing. The timing's it hasn't been like last year it was okay, but this year we were the 11 a.m. session and didn't end up going until almost like 4:30. And like I know you were saying before that you were doing runoffs around that time too.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it's just the timing of everything, and we were in different rings. Like the forms were in inside, and the fighting was outside, so we had to wait for them
Yeah.
anyway.
Right. Right. Yeah. That part was really difficult. Especially for us, I was doing grands for the seniors in one ring, and then as my Korean division was going, so then I went in and did that, and then as soon as that was done, then I ran over to that room to do runoffs. And then the hard part was I didn't know if it was going to be a runoff or if they were going to run it all the way down. Because at first they said, we're not taking you to finals. So that changes in my mind what form I'm going to do, everything like that. And we literally, as we bowed in, found out, okay, you're going to take 2. And both Mason Stowe and I looked at each other like, okay, that changes things. What we're doing, and what form we're doing. So it's one of those things that, and again, some of that stuff happens because they're trying to put on a show that isn't going to take forever. A little over 3 hours. I thought it ran pretty smooth. I thought they did a good job.
The show ran really well.
Yeah, and it's become one of the better night shows with just the lights, the sound, everything is on point. But yeah, for me too, this is my 1-year anniversary. The battle is my 1-year anniversary being on Revolution. So you got 2 years, I got 1 year, and then Ian as well. Ian and I both got on the team the same tournament. So
I have to say, another thing that I like that Battle started doing was the Friday night fights.
Yes, that was
running open weight and
doing that for a while
teams.
now. Yeah, they've been doing it for a while.
For some reason, I don't. Oh, maybe I do remember it because I think I've been on a couple times.
I think 2015 might have been the first year, but they may have done it in 2014 before.
That may have been the first time. That may have been the first time I did it. It was either that year or the year after because I was on with Beatrice at one point, and I want to say it was like 2016, 2017 probably.
Right.
But I love Friday night fights.
Yes. Oh yeah, you got to share about that. You were coaching.
Oh yes. So back to I talked about her before on the Pan Am's one, but my little one Salome was on stage with Baby, and they fought teams.
Yes.
They both fought amazing. Salome was a little scared, but she ended up going up there and kicking some butt. So I'm so proud of both of them. That was amazing. I loved doing that.
That was a lot of fun to watch, and
it was so much fun. It was so much fun to sit there and coach.
Right. All right. What Battle of Atlanta? Do you have any Battle of Atlanta stories? Doesn't have to be from this year, from years past.
I want to say Battle was one of the first competitions that I was on stage for, and it was for a Friday night fight.
Okay.
We ended up doing 2 things. It was the regular team fight for like 14-17 or 12-13, 14-17, something like that. And then a like Florida versus Georgia type thing, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Or it was like North versus South. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we did 2 things and it was like a mixed teams.
That's cool.
So those are probably my most like the best memories I have. And I think it was at the old venue too.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I don't remember where it was, but it was at the old venue.
Nice.
Where I think everything was in one room.
Yeah, I think that's actually still the same place, but it's just down a tap or whatever. I think so, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Maybe.
Because I think that was the year after one of the years that I went, but it was like the years that they had it in the big conference room where it was all one.
Yes.
It was
like concrete floors.
Yeah, concrete floors. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if that was the same place or not. I just remember it was different.
It's just down, yeah, because they said that they could have access to it. They're hoping next year to have access to it, but they're not sure yet, But I think it works out for them the way they have it. Yeah.
Having everything in the same room would be so much easier.
I know. It would be.
Because
I got so many battles.
I had fighting in one room, and then I had to and then my dad. I think my dad did like sprinting everywhere.
Yeah.
We were the only coaches, so it was me and him, and he was outside doing the underbelts, and I was inside watching the black belts, and then I went outside and did underbelt. Yeah, it was all over the place.
Yeah. I got so many battle stories. One year, I'll tell it as like when I was underbelt. So I think it was 9. That had already been like my 5th Battle of Atlanta or 4th Battle of Atlanta or something like that. And I was just a big fan of the sport, right? And so I knew when I went, like, all the people I was going to get their autographs and see and stuff like that. And I was just like, I would just have the NASCA the NASCA yearbook. We used to always get a yearbook of all the champions and everything. And I was just looking at all of them and say, okay, I'm going to get Carmichael Simon's autograph. I'm going to get Jimmy Pham's autograph. I'm going to get Kim Doe's autograph. And like, I stayed up all night just thinking about meeting these people. And I performed awful, but I had like 50, 60 people in my division. And it was crazy. I mean, I think I got in the top 8, but still, like, which is good. But
out of 50, 60,
yeah, it was wild. But I was just so excited just to meet my heroes, right? And that's something that's really just carried with me today. And it's cool that now, I like Kim Doe was there at the tournament, got to see him and hang out with him, and he's someone who, like, I always looked up to him as a kid, but now we see each other and we're both friends, with each other. It's not just, it's not just the one way. I mean, I still look up to him. He's a great guy, but it's cool too that I've been in that sport, not just for this long, but also at a high level, and to where I get to have those conversations with a Kalman Choka about the sport, and with Marcel Jones and with Nikki Stanley and different people, Caitlin Deschelle, different people that come over, Ernest Miller. So also next week, I'm going to be on Ernest's podcast. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I have no idea what the heck we're going to talk about, but it's going to be wild. So, but yeah, I mean, there's so many different things. I will say, watching the finals that year in 1993, and then there was the craziest brawl between John Paul Mitchell and was it Paul Mitchell? No, it wasn't. It was Metro and DKT Force One. So it was on stage in the finals in teams, and then multiple people got on stage, and it was wild. And as a 9-year-old, you're just like, what the heck? This was at the Georgia Dome. It was like at this big, like stadium arenas type thing, and it was just wild. So I remember that, and I had pieces of it on VHS for a while, but I didn't have the whole fight.
VHS is crazy.
VHS, man, and I mean the big old camera was like this. Yeah,
Yep.
It didn't move that fast. But yeah,
That's funny.
All right. So, what are some big takeaways for you that you're going to that you're looking forward to for the battle? For U.S. Open. What are some things that or people to look forward to that showed out this weekend? They're like, I'm excited to see them again.
Well, for one, we're doing demo at battle. I mean, not battle. Dang, you got me saying battle. Demo at US Open. We're doing demo at US Open. So we've been working on that since before Pam's. So it's going to be really cool to see it come together again and to compete on the mat with all the other teams, and cross our fingers to make it to stage, because that's always super fun.
Yeah.
I like the fact that US Open has it split into 3 days, but I also don't like the fact that it's split into 3 days.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a win-lose.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to have to compete until I realized, oh, hey, they are doing Korean Challenge, and it's going to be on Thursday.
We have demo on Thursday, then team sparring on Thursday. Friday is open weight, and Saturday is the division. So I'm competing all 3 days.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, so it's wild. And so literally for me, that'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days in a row of competing, because I'll be competing at the AAU Taekwondo Nationals that week as well. So yeah, so I'm gonna be it's gonna be a wild week. I may just sit at the desk the rest of the week at the Christ and have everybody else run classes. So
yeah, I don't blame you.
But yeah. All right. So thanks, Peyton. Anything else you got about the weekend that you want to share, or something going on in your life?
At a local tournament this weekend.
Oh, is that the Mayan Challenge?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just. I'm always confused on when it is, because it's changed dates so many times. But
They recently, it was this year that they changed it. It was in September, and then they moved Mayan, and they moved Mayan to oh my gosh, what month are we in? June. Wow. Whew. They moved Mayan to June, and then they moved another one that was in June to September. So they switched them.
you're gonna do sword
No, I'm gonna fight.
and forms. Come
I will
on,
be fighting. I don't know about forms yet. Forms is up in the air. We'll see.
you've been doing forms a lot lately. That's at this tournament.
I know, and I learned a new form, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I have a local tournament as well. Well, not super local. I mean, not as local as what it's like 2.5 hours away, but it's in Virginia. Okay, we don't get too many Virginia tournaments. I think also John Chung's having a tournament. His is in DC, but I'm going to one that I'll be running the tournament. I'll be coordinating the tournament, and I may jump in and do a Korean form to figure out some of the different forms that I have to do for these next couple events. So to get a couple of in.
Form's definitely up in there. We'll see. If anything, I'll just borrow my student's uniform.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, so the tournament I'm going to is called Battle of the Blue Ridge. I know that John Chung has his sidekick tournament, and you're going to Mayan Challenge. So
yes,
awesome. Peyton, thank you.
of course.
I will see you in a couple weeks, and I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. Keep training.
Thank you.
I will see you guys soon.
Yes.
I don't know who we have on Monday. We may have a special guest on Monday, but I'm not sure yet. So it's a lot. It's hard because there's so much going on with U.S. Open and everything. So, but we are going to have some this week on the show and the next couple of weeks, and it's just a busy time. So,
Yes.
yeah. All right, guys.
Good night, everyone.